What I be sure two movies here. Now, since I'm doing my reviews for past October films, since I just actually talked about the first Ouija, which premiered in October back in 2014, here's my review for its not sequel but prequel, I should say, and that is Ouija: Origin of Evil. Now, the first Ouija I thought was pretty terrible. It was not all that great in my opinion. I mean, I remember watching. I believe I saw that literally the same. I'm trying to remember if I saw that same day as John Wick. I gotta double check, but it's been a while since I've seen the original. But about about 2 years, about 2 years after the first Ouija got released, Blumhouse and Universal decided to go ahead and do a prequel. They did not do a sequel because the first film did okay, I guess, but it was not so much love, so they wanted to go away from the sequel and do an actual prequel. And this was, of course, directed by Mike Flanagan, who, of course, will later give us stuff like that show Midnight Mass, which I need to continue watching that show. I actually started watching it, but then there's been other shows that I really gotta get back on that show. But anyway, he of course did Blind Manor, Hill House. He did some other really decent stuff like Oculus. Oculus is a really good underrated horror film, by the way. Anyway, Mike Flanagan is a real of course he gave us Doctor Sleep, which was pretty good. So he's a pretty cool horror director here. And so when they first announced another Ouija, I'm like, oh really? Is this gonna are they just gonna milk this? Is it gonna be as good as the original? It's gonna be terrible at even worse. But then I checked out Ouija Origin of Evil, and surprise, surprise, this movie is much better than the 2014 version. I mean, once again, this is of course produced by Michael Bay of all people. Mike Flanagan also wrote the film, and this one takes place in 1967's LA, where this widow mother named Alexander, played by Elizabeth Razor, unwillingly invites this evil into her home, adding to a new stunt to bolster her finance scam business. So this relentless spirit overtakes her youngest daughter, Doris, played by Lulu Wilson, who a year after will later go on to appear in the Annabelle sequel film. And so they pretty much must confront the unthinkable fears to save her and send this professor back to the other side to try to protect her and all. And by the way, one person who also having this is also Henry Thomas, who plays the the priest here. Of course, you guys don't know Henry Thomas is best known for playing Little Elliot on in E.T. He's been lots of Mike Flanagan stuff. He's in that new Midnight Mass. He was in Blind Manor. He's also supposed to be in Pet Sematary, the new Pet Sematary film, which I don't think is Mike Flanagan's not directing, but still. So yeah, I mean, of course, he also has some other intriguing cast members here too. You had Annabelle. Annalise Basso, who plays the younger version of Paulina Lina Zender, who of course the older version is portrayed by Lynn Shay. You also had it's not a Mike Flanagan movie without this actress. So of course you got Kate Siegel is also in this. Sam Anderson, Alexa G. Zell. You even had Doug Jones, who plays the ghoul in this. It's a really decent it is a bit of a decent follow-up. It is really it's still as creepy. The scene with the girl, with this little girl being all creepy and all, is, I mean, it's always messed up seeing movies with creepy kids in it, and this one does it justice. And the girl who plays the lead little girl in this, Lulu Wilson, I thought she was incredible. I mean, the acting in this is much better than the acting in the 2014 version. Of course, they did use the Ouija board, and it is just so terrifying. How, using that Ouija board does look pretty terrifying here. I mean, you really gotta be careful with that thing. You summon the wrong spirit, and boom, your house is haunted for life. Uh, but anyway, yeah, it's definitely a really solid prequel here. It's like the first hour also keeps you in suspense, and it is also a 1967 Paris setting, which I thought was really cool as well. And it's a really like it is a creepy enough horror film to watch. It's a shame they never really done like another installment because I think they could do another one that could be maybe even as good as this one and even better than the 2014 version. I mean, the Ouija board is still very popular in today's standard. There are still people today who still use that damn Ouija board. But that aside, Ouija Origin of Evil is a really decent one. Mike Flanagan, really, I think if this franchise continued, it would have saved this franchise. But I don't think this movie did all that well, though. How much did Ouija Origin of Evil made? Let's see. It only made 81.7 million on a 6 to 12 million dollar budget. They didn't do bad. I mean, this movie did like that's the thing about Blumhouse. That's one thing I really do appreciate about Blumhouse. No matter how much of bad films or no matter how good films they make, they always make their movies for cheap. Like they always make their movies as a cost of, let's say, a bus ticket. That's how cheap they make their movies. So yeah, I mean their movies are so cheap to make. So no matter how like that's the thing on the flops they even have, they'll still be good because of how much because they don't really lose a whole lot. So yeah, but that aside, if you have not really seen Ouija Origin of Evil, I'd say give it a shot. You might enjoy it or you might not enjoy it, but I'm sure you'll enjoy it more than the original film. Let's be real there. But anyway, let me leave you guys. Have you ever seen Ouija Origin of Evil? If so, what's of it? Were you a fan of it? Were you not a fan of it? Which one do you prefer? Do you prefer the 2014 version or do you prefer the prequel? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notification. This is Simu signing off.